Hello everyone, my name is Amelia Kesey. I grew up on the south side of Chicago, particularly an area known as Bronzeville, home to many black politicians and business owners within the community, and of course, home of the White Sox. I still currently live in Bronzeville neighborhood. I moved when I was 21. I'm 37 now. I moved to New Orleans when I was 21 for a few years, but ever since I've been a resident and born and raised here in Chicago, the only area that I've ever lived in is Bronzeville. I went to several high schools, Joseph Bingham All-Girl Catholic School my freshman and sophomore year. I went to Crane my junior year, and I graduated from Julian my senior year. So I did move a lot around a lot in my high school years. I did not go to college. I jumped right into my career field when I was 18. The summer that I graduated, I started working for J.P. Morgan Chase in their lockbox division. I did that for 4 years. But my first job ever was working at the Lark clothing store in Evergreen Plaza when I was a senior in high school. I carried on the duration of JP Morgan, as I said, for a few years as a data entry specialist. And 3 years into me working for JP Morgan Chase, I became a mixologist. I worked for franchise brands like Fridays, Hooters, Chili's, and then I'd start venturing out to nightclubs and bars. And I still do that to this day. Right now, I am actually a full-time mixologist. And what led me down that path, that's what I love to do. I love being around people, having a good time, and just the environment and the free will to be able to have the flexibility in your personal life as well. My future dream career is to be a nurse practitioner with the focus of midwifery. Simply because when I was a little girl, I witnessed midwifery, as you would call it. My stepmother, her sister, had a baby, and we were in the next room over. And of course, I didn't see the actual birth, but I thought it was so cool to just see someone give birth in that manner, not in a hospital, just that way, and that was their choice, and it opened me up, and I started to learn about it. And as I got older, it was always in the back of my mind that I wanted to do that. So now I'm finally getting on the path to do so. Something that you guys would know about me, in the summer of 2018, I saved not a random person, but I saved a young lady from drowning in Lake Michigan. The crazy thing about that was my father always, all of me and my siblings, we had to take swimming lessons. Like, it wasn't up for debate. He said it was very important that we knew how to swim, and I didn't like water, so I didn't understand what that meant. But yeah, we were out there at Chicago boat scene, and a girl slipped between the boats, and I jumped off and saved her. The music that I enjoy the most, I'm a jazz girl at heart. Like I said, my father, he's from New Orleans. I grew up listening to jazz, specifically Miles Davis and Ella Fitzgerald. But I'm also a lover of late 80s to early 2000s R&B. That's my favorite genre of music by all time. My hidden talent is baking, and the irony in that is I don't even eat pastries, but I think just growing up and watching my grandmother bake a lot, it just stuck to me, and I never knew I could do it until the first time I did it. And now for every Thanksgiving, I'm the one that's baking the cakes and the pies. I believe good communication is a fundamental skill involving the exchange of thoughts, ideas, and feelings between one another in a effective manner, as you would say. I think you can do it, and a lot that comes with it should be professional and respectful. Good communication is essential to having clarity in conversations and any type of human interaction. I'll give you an example. I don't really text a lot because sometimes text could be taken out of tone or context. So I like for people to hear me talk and so we don't have any miscommunications. With what I do now in mixology, good communication is the base of my customer service. I use it in a professional manner so I can ensure a hospitable experience for my customers by knowing what they want and how they want it. Good communication is necessary to in becoming a nurse for my future career because it contributes majorly to positive patient care outcomes. You have to think you're dealing with doctors, you're dealing with other nurses, you're dealing with the family. These aren't people who generally know medical terminology or why we have to do something on a loved one or a husband or a wife. So good communication kind of eases that and calm nerves, and it's a better overall outcome for everyone involved. And it shows that you have a lot of compassion. I am more proud in my good communication on a better. If me and my mom, I grew up having a strange relationship with my mother, so now my communication has opened me up to wanting to do therapy. We do therapy, and it's amazing. So that's more of a personal experience how I deal with my good communication, but it is an experience.